Danny Berg with us here on the John Mendola Show. We're talking Valley View girls soccer. Memorable, historical, fantastic. We could use a lot of adjectives to describe this season. Let's talk about the special group of young ladies.
Yeah. It's the end of the season last year was a 8-0 loss to Berg, and the girls asked me if I was coming back to coach again, and I said yeah. It was a yeah, but we have to get started now because when we first came in, we were looking at just traffic and passing last year. So this year, the kids who don't play competitive club all year round and things like that really bought in and set the tone back in June. And special group of kids because we have young freshmen, sophomores who were willing to mature and came along with the expectations of what the seniors leadership that we already have in place. So they know that it's compatible. It's one doesn't work without the other. So while a lot of people say, hey, there's a lot of young talent, it's really been our senior leadership. There's 9 seniors, 4 of which get significant playing time, but it's everything they do off the field that allows us to be successful on.
Let's talk about the league. I mean, a good competition in the league that prepares you for the postseason.
I think so, and it's the Lackawanna League Division I has really grown over the last, I'd say, 6 or 7 years. Maybe back in high school coaching with the boys, watching it grow and just the competitive nature. So it definitely prepares us. Our out of conference schedule, like we played Wyoming Valley West was our season opener. We played Wyoming area. We scrimmaged Lake Lehman, we scrimmaged Pocono Mountain. That we just wanted to make sure that we had ourselves as prepared as possible, not realizing what was to come potentially, but it really ended up allowing us to be prepared for the successes that we've had at the end of the season.
Those tight games in the playoffs made the difference. So how do you get in those tight games? Starts on defense, and
it does, and I don't. It's a cliche, sometimes like where it's like defense win those championships. But for me, we're aware of what's going on all the time, but I'm so comfortable with 3 seniors in the back that we run and then our senior goalkeeper. I don't really worry as much because I know even if we face adversity or if we're down, they're not, when the road's bumpy, they're not going to really waver. But it helps to have that senior leadership there because all of our attack from mids to forwards, or depending on our formations, it's freshman, sophomore heavy.
You got to be able to put the ball in the back of the net, and you did it a couple times by a goal. That's what it takes. And talk about that ability to finish. It's not always pretty, but maybe with 12 seconds to go or whatever, it happens.
You're right. We're fortunate to have Eva Canaveri, Maya Cesarini. They're the main ones that everybody looks to score. We have 14 different girls score this season. So whether they draw the attention and someone crashes the back end, Giada Costa, she has 6 goals on the season. I don't even know if she had a shot on goal last year. If you add up the distance from the goal line for all of them, I don't know if she makes it to the PK area. And they're not junk goals. She's crashing the backside. She knows where she's supposed to be. But I always tell them I'd rather win ugly or do what it takes than lose pretty. And we've started to realize we don't have to take 40-yard shots. We don't have to look for the one that's going to rip the back of the net because it's not going to.
The parents, the community, the kids in the school. Let's talk about everybody jumping on board and rooting for the Cougars.
It's awesome. It's we have the traveling section. They created an Instagram thing for it. Some of it's a lot of the soccer boys, but in the newspaper the other day you see the Scranton Times picture and there's Adam Holanitz front and center. Captain of the football team, quarterback. All in, and a lot of that has to do with the culture, as you said, the community, the school. The school support is absolutely amazing for all the sports and the arts, but they really rallied around these girls and they bum rushed the field after the district championship. Last night, after our first round game with Shikellamy, we see them all rush on the field. They didn't even run to the girls. They tackled me. I ended up on the ground. And I don't even know a lot of them, but there's just like that sense of pride. We always say Cougar pride, but sense of pride in the community, and the community support was great. There was over like 450 tickets sold to a high school girls soccer game in Peckville.
That's awesome. It's awesome. You have a great story. It's a great year, and you want to keep it going. It's one game at a time. You never know what it's going to end, but when this season ends, whether it's Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, whatever that day is, I'm sure you're going to be a smiling kind of guy because it's a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, it's more than the success. The wins is great. First state playoff win for Valley View. They were 0-6. but what these kids have achieved, like off the field. Having the opportunity for my 2.5-year-old son to run around our practice and then engage with him, and it's bigger than the sport. And I've been telling them it's not just good enough to get there. Like, we want to win. We're competitive. They're tough kids, and I think you see that if you have an opportunity to see them play. But they have realized to embrace so much more than just the wins and losses, and it's memories that they're going to cherish forever.
Congratulations on a great run. Keep it going.
Thank you.